Well, now would you look at this? This is the Marlin 1895 SBL. I've done a couple videos on this over the past couple years. However, this one has new furniture on it. If you haven't noticed, this is the Midwest Industries 1895 SBL rail, and this is the stock. You'll notice something a little bit different right here, but this is actually a Hoptic USA shell caddy for the side. I actually had one already, so I figured I might as well add that. When I was looking through the Midwest Industries catalog, the shell carrier at the time was out of stock, so I did not ask for one. I'm going to talk to you guys about the simplicity of the installation. I'll also give you guys a little warning though, because when I installed this, I didn't quite read the directions properly, and I kind of jacked up my gun a little bit. Anyways, let's talk about it. 1895 SBL with that Midwest Industries furniture. All right, so starting up front, this is the first thing we're going to talk about. This is the 1895 M-LOK Handguard. There's a couple different versions they have. They have one with a built-in Picatinny rail, but since the 1895 SBL model I have is the Marlin, and it already has a pick rail on top, it's fit well, it's held up just fine, so I had no reason to get the full kit and caboodle rail. So what I did was I went with just the M-LOK Handguard. It does replace the laminate handguard, however, this one is extremely easy to install. Before we get into some of the details, this does cost $188.95, so $189, $190 for this handguard. So you have these larger set screws on either side right here. Then you have these smaller positioning set screws right here, these little brass screws. And then right on the bottom, you have a set screw right here. Now, this one and these two positioning screws are the softer material. Now these larger set screws actually bite into your stock Marlin tenon. That's the little mount that goes between the barrel and your magazine tube on your lever action. So the process with this one, so let me tell you real quick how you install this, and then I'm going to talk about what I did wrong. So these larger set screws right here, they need to be torqued at 20 inch-pounds. These small, softer set screws right here, these brass colored screws, they actually might be brass, I don't know. These have to be 5 inch-pounds, and this guy has to be 5 inch-pounds down here as well. Very light, but these are more positioning. Those are more for positioning. So step one, you take your old handguard off, pretty easy, and then you put these positioning set screws in. You're supposed to tighten it, so the gap between the handguard and the barrel is nice and even on either side. Once you have it positioned, you take these larger set screws right here, and then you torque them down to 20 inch-pounds. You want to make sure that you have a perfect gap. So this kit also does come with some thread lock. So you apply a little thread lock, torque them down to 20 inch-pounds. Once you do that, you take this bottom one right here, and then you're supposed to torque this to 5 inch-pounds. So the only problem that I had with this was I over torqued it. I didn't think I was. It was just, it didn't quite hit 5 inch-pounds, but it kept going and going and going. And then eventually it got to 5 inch-pounds. What I did was I was trying to load the magazine. I couldn't get that second round in there. So I took this thing apart wondering what the heck did I do? And then I found out that set screw right down here was actually crushing the magazine tube on the bottom. I had to pound out the dent that I just created in here by over torquing. So even though it says don't go past 5 inch-pounds, if your magazine tube is soft enough, it'll start caving in well before 5 inch-pounds. So that's one thing I noticed. I put some thread lock on there. I just basically tightened it to where I felt there was no more wiggle, and that's it. I didn't tighten it anymore. Now it's running just fine. I can load it just fine. It's good. All right, next thing we have is this stock. What's really cool about this stock is you can actually change out your grip panels right here. I just went with the standard black stock ones that this came with. But what's really cool is you have a bunch of mounting options back here. So they actually make a shell caddy that bolts right into here, and you can stick all your 4570s right here. And then, like I said, I have the Hoptic USA shell caddy for the side of this M-LOK. You have your vertical rails right here on the side. You have your angled rails right here on top. More angled rails, and then a nice horizontal rail right on the bottom. So you can mount whatever kind of accessories you want to this, and it does come with a sling swivel stud built in already, and then there's a sling swivel stud right back here already too. Now, again, what's really cool with this, you actually have some QD attachments. You got a dual QD right here. You have a single QD right here on the bottom. And then you have another QD over here, right below your pistol grip. But there is no QD on the actual handguard part. Now, out of this whole set, the stock is the most expensive part. This part is $269 for this stock. This is a very nice machine stock. It has a really nice finish, and yeah, it's very modular, which is one reason I really like this also. Now, overall, the weight of it does not feel any heavier than when my rifle just had the laminate furniture on it. So that's pretty cool. Check out this new shirt from TriStar Trading. If you know, you know. I'll have these shirts linked below. So check it out, TriStar Trading. Get some MrBigKid merch and cool designs like this. All right, so real quick, let's talk about performance and how did it all hold up. So once I figured out that issue with me crushing the magazine tube, fix that, straighten that out. It ran just fine. Nothing loosened up on me, which is big. Make sure to use that thread locker because 4570 will rock your world. It's a powerful round. I shot everything from my Buffalo Bore 350s. I shot some subsonic 405s and some custom Jeff loads, I like to call them. They're hand loads from my friend. His name is Jeff. And those are very soft shooting as well, even softer than the subsonic loads. I can't believe I fired these rounds out of that little Bond Arms Cyclops, because it still hurts when I put it up to my shoulder and fire it, so never mind doing it out of my hand. But yeah, my wrist actually, 3 weeks after shooting that, my wrist does still hurt, just a FYI. It's just about better. I feel like I'm about 90%. So overall, just shy of about $350. You have all brand new furniture for your 1895 SBL. Some people don't see a need to want to upgrade to M-LOK. I mean, I get it. Honestly, I love the look of that laminate furniture that was on the original. Interestingly, when I was removing the stock, it was basically like sawdust when I pulled the bolts out of that. That stock almost crumbled apart on the inside. So you can tell it was getting beaten up with all the shooting I've done with it. So, I mean, it was probably about time to upgrade that anyways. So for both the M-LOK handguard and your pistol grip style stock, just under $350 for both. Very easy installation, and it uses all the other parts. You don't need any kind of special hardware, and it comes with all the actual hardware you need. It comes with all the different hex screws that you guys need. It comes with thread locker, and it comes with the tools to do so. However, since they do have torque recommendations, I would recommend getting a tool kit. Like what I use was the Fix-It sticks, and I'll actually have a build list. I'll have a build list on my pinned comment over here, and we're going to go over, I'll have everything I've done, all the way from the handguards to the tools I'm using to install it. The Fix-It sticks really came in handy. I have a really tiny torque limiter on there, so you're not going to mess up your installations. Anyways, that's it, guys. Don't forget to check out that build list I have on everything we talked about today. Hope you all have a blessed day. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys.